fruity wines today. It's Beaujolais Nouveau. Thus the flowers, thus the outrageously loud dress. I'm just going to get rid of these because I can't handle all the wine with all of these flowers. Excuse me. Okay. Hello, I'm back. I'm Natalie MacLean, nataliemaclean.com. Thank you for joining us. I review thousands of wines every year. Tonight we are talking about Beaujolais Nouveau. Yes, I know it happened on Thursday, third Thursday of every November, but why? We want to know why. So, if you're joining us, please let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to refresh my browser and see who's here, make sure I'm not talking to a void in the universe. Really don't like that. Oh, Lynn, my guardian angel Lynn is always here. Lynn, I will have a technical term for you tonight, I promise. Even though what we're talking tonight about is very young, simple, grapey, enjoyable wine. Beaujolais Nouveau. How did it start? Where is it going? Anyway, so let me just keep refreshing and make sure I'm seeing your comments, because Facebook tends to just roll these comments back so quickly. It's like stock market ticker tape. They go by and I can only see 5 at a time, and it's like boom, boom, boom. Lynn is here, yay! Lynn says, 2 Lyns. We have 2 Lyns. Do we have anybody else by any other name tonight? It's okay, we can do an all Lynn edition tonight. But Lynn Vanderlyn has joined us from Ottawa. Lynn MacDonald Jameson is in Halifax. Lynn Vanderlyn says it's such a great tradition. It is, Lynn. Let's talk about that, shall we? We'll just dig right in while others join us. If you're joining us, please click on share so you let your friends know and they can join us. Why not? More the merrier. Click on like so that you get notified the next time we go live and make me very happy. Click on follow if you've never done so before. It's a green button. And click on sign up, the little blue button up there, or there, I'm not sure, mirror image, I get confused, and join us. So, let's talk about Beaujolais Nouveau. And oh my gosh, I did my homework for you this week, people, not that I usually don't, but I really dug in. I live in Ottawa, so I have access to LCBO wines and SAQ wines, so tonight I have a scary number of Beaujolais Nouveau wines. I'm just going to show you. Watch. Hopefully I won't make you dizzy. Ooh, here we go, camera work, like the Blair Witch version or whatever. Blair Witch? Anyway, there are like 20 wines down there, right? So we're being thorough. Anyway, so let's talk about how this tradition started. Really oh, Paul is here. Hello, Paul and Patty from Virginia. All right, you're having dinner with Scouts Honor Zinfandel. That was last week. Catch up. No, it's okay. Doesn't matter if you're not drinking a Beaujolais Nouveau with us tonight. Just sip along, have fun, learn about this wine, know it for next year. Sharon is here. Yay, Sharon. She's got the 2013 Inniskillen Reserve Shiraz Cabernet. I think there's another Sharon P that joins us for the Sunday Sipper Club. Wow, can there be 2 Sharons and 2 Lyns? Holy doppelganger. Wow, I can't believe it. The universe is converging. One happy, great bunch cluster. All right, so Beaujolais Nouveau. Let's stay on topic. Let's try not to get distracted. I'm talking to myself, of course. It started in about 1985 in terms of when it got worldwide recognition. And often we do thank or attribute a lot of this to Georges Duboeuf from Beaujolais. His winery accounts for about 10% of all Beaujolais production. And Beaujolais Nouveau is about 50% of the production of Beaujolais. The whole region of Beaujolais, okay, let's situate it, is in southern Burgundy. So up top we've got the northern Burgundy region is Pinot Noir territory. And hoity-toity, okay. I love Burgundy though, oh my gosh. Pinot Noir, that's the great base. South, we get unfettered happiness and immediate slurpability with Beaujolais, and the grape is Gamay. Much younger, shares some similarities with Pinot Noir in that it's cherry berry, light in tannins, immediately gulpable, But in Beaujolais region of southern Burgundy, there are two types. There's Beaujolais Nouveau, which is just arrived, and then there's Beaujolais that can age. And we'll talk about the other type later. We do not want to confuse them to maximize our pleasure, of course. So, Paul, you were at a Bordeaux dinner last week. Yes, you're excused, Paul. I'm back as a talking head at your table tonight in Virginia. I love that. I love that you include me in your dinner plans on Sunday nights. That's so much fun. So, Beaujolais Nouveau, Southern Burgundy, the grape is Gamay, third Thursday of every November. What's happening? So what they're doing is, I kind of liken it to the cooking technique of sous vide, meaning very quickly. This is tout suite for grape making. So just roughly 6 weeks ago, these grapes were still on the vine. I'm just looking what else I have here. Okay, not all these are from Beaujolais, but they're all Nouveau, new styles. So roughly 6 weeks ago, these grapes were still hanging in jars. They're hand-picked, fermented, and bottled very, very quickly. And so what we're getting is a taste of the harvest, the taste of the Beaujolais harvest. Some would argue that it's a harbinger, an indicator of the entire harvest for France, but no, there's just too many microclimates and so many subtleties with soil and everything else. I just don't think we can take it as an indicator of the entire harvest for one country, let alone anywhere else. But it's just a whole bunch of fun, pun intended. So the process of fermentation is unique in some respects in that they do something. Here comes your technical term, Lynn. Got a technical term for you. Carbonic maceration. Carbonic maceration. So what does that mean? So instead of separating all the grapes or separating them and pressing them and fermenting them, they're taking whole bunches of grapes and they're putting them into the fermentation process together. Carbonic maceration, that's what that is in its simplest terms. What does that mean for what happens to the wine? So if you can imagine, if you've got a bunch of grapes, rather than all these individual, they call them berries, but they're grapes, fermenting, not as much grape skin is exposed to the juice that's getting pressed. So the more you expose the grape skin to the juice, the more tannin, color, flavor, etc. that you get, right? Because all the flavor in all fruit, by the way, flavor, nutrients, color, everything, it's all in the skin or the peel. So when you limit that, because you've got a bunch, and imagine the juice is coming out of the berries or the grapes that are in the middle, but not as much ratio or exposure of the grape skins themselves to the juice. What's going to happen? You're going to get a wine that is very fruity, very light, low tannin, tannin being that sort of furry mouthfeel we get from eating walnuts. Not a lot of that happening here. Young, joyous, not a lot of aging potential because you're not going to extract a lot of tannins, all that kind of stuff. So thus you've got a wine that you should drink early on. I got to keep refreshing here. Get carried away with all this stuff. Oh, Helena, hello. You're drinking Banrock Station Chardonnay. So off topic, but I'm so glad it's not water this week, Helena. Right on. Helena, this one's for you. Not the finger, the ring. My thing is the ring bling, right? This is for you. Now I'm being consistent with certain elements of this broadcast. Malcolm's here from Niagara. Hello, Malcolm. What's in your glass? My friend Lise. Hello, Miss Natalie. Hello, Miss Lise. What's in your glass? I know you were asking earlier this week, Lise, what to buy. I said George Duboeuf because there's just so much of it, but also he's iconic and he really knows what he's doing when it comes to Beaujolais. So, what did you end up buying, Lise? Okay, back to the topic, if I can even remember where I was. Okay, so that's the whole fermentation process is why, and the whole production process is why we drink Beaujolais young, all right? Beaujolais or other wines don't follow that exact process. They don't use perhaps carbonic maceration. It's not all the grapes clumped together. They are separated, they are destemmed. There's more exposure of the skins to the juice, so you're getting more aging potential with more tannin, etc., structure, etc., etc., etc. And also, other wines are left to age in oak, or they're left to age in the bottle. These are going right to you, right? So what's fun about this, and what makes this such a marketing juggernaut, is that they kind of embargo the wines until for release until the third Thursday of every November. It's like the Harry Potter novels. Like if you just sort of dribbled those books out to the bookstores, whatever. But they made people line up, and line up they did. And when you've got a specific hardcore deadline and you don't allow people to taste or read beforehand, then you generate some excitement. And that is the brilliance, the marketing brilliance of this wine. So 1 minute past midnight, every third Thursday of November. That's what Beaujolais Nouveau owns. So yeah, a lot of liquor stores are not open at that time of the night. So in the case of the LCBO, or most liquor stores, you are getting your wines at 9:30 a.m. That's why Beaujolais Nouveau has been dubbed the world's first breakfast wine, because often the liquor stores are not open. So unless you've got access to them through a restaurant or bistro that has promised not to serve them those wines until 1 minute past midnight, because by the way, they do fine them, charge them if they do break the embargo, you're drinking it at breakfast. Woohoo! That's also why Beaujolais is also called the world's first red wine that's white. So because it's so light in tannin, so light in flavor, people say it's a red wine that's actually white. So it tastes like a white wine, it's light like a white wine. You should serve it chilled like a white wine. I don't agree with that, but there you go. Lise says she has 2 tonight. Lise is getting serious about her wine education. Lise, applause. She bought the Nouveau Duboeuf Village, good, and the Nouveau the Fool, excellent. Excellent. You're welcome, Helena. The Fool is a Nouveau wine style from Niagara, and we are going to talk about that, Lise. So, nice comparison, Lise, for you on the table. So, that's why we drink them. There's the marketing thing. But let's talk about business, shall we? We'll only stay a few moments on this. But most wines, the wine business, the reason why so many wineries are owned by families and generations is that it's not a very immediate cash flow business. It takes generations to learn how to make wines, but it also, if you look at vines themselves, they take like 5 to 7 years before they're producing grapes of any measure of quality. So you've got this whole long product cycle, if you will. But also, even when your vines are at maturity and they're producing grapes of good quality, most wine styles are made not to be released the year that they're produced, but maybe a year or 2 later. Even those for immediate consumption in the liquor store. We're still talking about a year or 2 before they hit the liquor store shelves. They might be oak aged, they may not be, but the whole cycle ties up cash in inventory. Literally, your accounts receivable are brutal. All right, sorry, the MBA brain in me is coming out. I can't resist. But these wily winemakers for Beaujolais Nouveau saw an immediate cash flow opportunity. Can you imagine picking the grapes and 6 weeks later starting to get your cash in from sale of these wines? So kind of brilliant from a marketing and business perspective of cash flow. There is another reason why this whole phenomenon started. Okay, so let's see. Malcolm says he has Bench Brewing Company Session 1 beer. What are you doing, Malcolm? After teaching a wine class today. Gotcha. They say it takes a lot of good beer to make wine. Yes. And it also takes a good beer to and talk about and sell wine. You're right, Malcolm. Sharon, marketing brilliance indeed. Yes, indeed. Great story behind Beaujolais Nouveau. Lee says, I know what one I like more. Lise, share, please. Which one is winning for you, Lise? Which one of the two wines? Dave, it's like starting a Christmas tree farm. So we've got a business analogy from Dave. Oh, right. Right, because it would take a long time to grow the Christmas trees, just like the wine business. It takes a long time for your vines to mature, then to produce grapes of consistent quality. And then even when you're at that point, you're still having to age the wine at least 1 or 2 years. If you're making fine wine, you're probably holding back your production, your inventory, your cash for 5, 10 years, whatever. Crazy business, and that is why a lot of it is family owned, because they look at it from the point of view of tradition. That's why a lot of family names are on wine labels, because it's just not a quick fix to make money at all. As they say, to make $1 million in the wine business, start off with 10. Anyway, that's an old hackneyed adage, but there you go. True. So, okay, Beaujolais, we talked about how it's made, we talked about how it started. You know, the whole thing about Beaujolais, I do have a post on this on the website at nataliemaclean.com. And by the way, if you're just joining us here in Facebook Live, please just say hello. Where are you logging in from? Where do you live? What's in your glass? It's okay if it's not Beaujolais Nouveau. It's okay if it's not even wine. That's all right. I just want to hear from you, and any comments, any questions, whether it relates to Beaujolais Nouveau or something else, that's okay too. So some really interesting statistics about Beaujolais Nouveau. There are more than 60 million bottles of Beaujolais Nouveau produced every year, and they start their journey in southern Burgundy, as I mentioned, in the Beaujolais region. And would you believe they go by plane, ship, train, a truck, motorcycle, elephant, rickshaw, did I say bicycle, and foot. They are shipped around the world to arrive on time for the different time zones of 1 minute past midnight on that third Thursday of every November. Pretty cool. So now this is just an extraordinary feat, as I mentioned, of marketing. And, you know, in Paris, that was the first to sort of catch on to this trend back in the 80s. And they would, their common key phrase was, Le Beaujolais Nouveau est arrivé. It has arrived. Excuse my French accent. C'est terrible. Je dois m'y livrer. Terrible. Hashtag terrible. Anyway, they would say, Le Beaujolais Nouveau est arrivé. And they would have it on the chalkboards. It was a bistro wine. So if you think about Bordeaux as Bach in music, Burgundy as Beethoven, smooth but yet sophisticated, Beaujolais is a folk tune. And you know, when I was out shopping for my Beaujolais, it was just hysterical to me. Nobody else, everybody else when they were shopping was going, why is that woman smiling so much? But I found, so this is Georges Duboeuf, his label Fun from Beaujolais. This is not Nouveau, but it's still Beaujolais. Right beside it, in the Bordeaux shelf, was Bordeaux in its tweedy jacket. I kid you not, serious. Oh, Bordeaux. Loosen up. Anyway, but all to say that Beaujolais is meant in that spirit of fun, that spirit of celebration, that quaffable. You are not sniffing and sipping and analyzing Beaujolais Nouveau. If you are, there's something wrong. Okay, I'm going to hit refresh. So anyway, what was really interesting is Beaujolais, oh my goodness, look at all the comments. Okay, so Lee says, Duboeuf is very juicy, first aroma, bright red cherries and raspberries, good Lees, and then a weird aroma that I can't identify. But I'm reading more. It's the light banana and no finish. Yeah, a lot of the Beaujolais Nouveaux, you know, a long finish is made from good structure. So you're just not going to get that in the Nouveaux. They're either short finish or no finish, or sometimes medium finish. Ruben Prince, he is here from Regina. Hello, Ruben. Is this your first time joining us, Ruben? He has the Beaujolais Village. All right, let's talk about that, Ruben. And Chris Topher is here. Yay, from Barrie. Hello, Chris. What's in your glass? So let's talk about, let's see what I have here. Okay, there's so many George Duboeuf. I almost got Duboeufed out. But let's just talk about all the Duboeufs. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I've just got to reach for all these wines. I don't know if I can even show them all to you at once. But, okay, so George Duboeuf, credit to him, he has the Gamay Nouveau. So keep in mind these are a combination of LCBO, SAQ, but they cover pretty much the gamut of Nouveau out this year. So we've got his Nouveau. Then we have got another Nouveau under a different label. I've reviewed all of these and I will post them. Then we've got Beaujolais Village Nouveau. When labels start to get more specific in France or elsewhere in the world, you know that the wine should be getting better in quality, because the more specific the label, usually the tighter the regulations, not a guarantee, but often a helper in indicating better quality. So Beaujolais Village, as opposed to just Beaujolais, if you can see that, Nouveau, should be a step up. Then, as I mentioned, he's got all of his other stuff from Beaujolais that's not Nouveau. He's got his Fun label, he's got his Gamay label. Craziness. There's more back here. It's just insane. And he's got, again, just Beaujolais, Beaujolais Village, not Nouveau. What else? Oh, I gotta show you my absolute favorite one of his. Bruy. Now let's talk about the non-Nouveau, just so you can keep it straight. Oh, Lise is saying she would drink this all summer. Excellent, Lise. So, this is George Duboeuf. It's not prominent, but it is on the, oh, here it is, if you can see that, George Duboeuf. Bruy is one of those villages. So, when you start to get very specific, not just Beaujolais Village, but the actual village right here, we're getting now into wines that can age. So they say they can do their Easter duty, meaning these wines will not be released until April 2017. Okay, I've got the 2014 here now. So you can see we're 2 years back, or hence, whatever. These wines are aged and they're not released right now. This is pretty gorgeous, especially for the price. So if you're a big Pinot Noir Burgundy fan, but you don't have a trust fund, go for the ageable Beaujolais from specific villages. My two favorite are Bruy and Moulin à Vin. Again, apologies for the really massacring the French. Moulin à Vin, I'll put it in the notes here. So just to keep them all straight. So again, these would not be using carbonic maceration and all of those tout sweet, sous vide kind of methods of fermentation. These are made the regular way of full berry or grape exposure, extraction of the skins to the juice. Whoa! Stephen Andrews from Waterloo. Hello, Stephen, where my son is at Waterloo University. I have the George Duboeuf Village. We'll be driving soon, so we'll try it later this week. Good decision, Stephen. Turkey wine, yes. So that, thank you, Stephen. So that is classic. Beaujolais Nouveau and Beaujolais in general are super duper turkey wines. Super duper, Lynn, that's technical. Because they're juicy, they're fruity, they're mouth-watering, they're berry. Think cranberry, liquid cranberry berry. So when you've got turkey, it's usually dry meat, even if you're a good cook. You need something to moisten up that turkey meat. So for all of you heading into Thanksgiving in the US, and all of us heading into the holidays for turkey dinner over the holidays, Beaujolais is ideal. Ideal. Personally, I'll be drinking Pinot Noir from Burgundy. I'm not a snob, but that's what I want. I want to spend the money doing that. But these would be beautiful wines with turkey. No one is going to complain. They'll all think you're brilliant. Sam from BC. Sam, the wine teacher from BC. Ah, yes, really. Good choice. It's a really good choice. Sam, thank you for joining us. What's in your glass, Sam? Lori, excellent. You are here and with a Trail Estate Riesling from Prince Edward. And it would go really well, the pork tenderloin in her oven, your oven. You always make me hungry, Lori. Reuben Prince, mine is Joseph Drouin. That's what we have here, Reuben. On trend. So this is Primeur, which also means nouveau, first, new, nouveau. They're all the same words. And let's do the Italian variation, which is not much different, but Nouvello from Italy, Nouvello. So all variations, derivations on nouveau. So we also have wines from France that are nouveau but not Beaujolais. So that just means they're made outside the region of Beaujolais, but they're made in the nouveau style. So they could be using Gamay, but they might be using the grapes of that other region of France, but made in that tout sweet style. All right, so that's how you're separating them all. Let's see what else is over here. We've got a Gamay Nouveau from France. Can you see that? Again, I'm going to post it all. I'll post that very quick soon, but not Beaujolais. Let me see if I can. One more thing. Montmessin and Georges Duboeuf, pretty much the two iconic producers. My favorites this year. Here's Montmessin. And really, so how long before these things expire? I would drink them comfortably up till, with my Christmas dinner or holiday dinner. And then, 6 months, they're starting to get tired because 6 months out after the vintage, because they're just not made, they're not road tested to go the distance, right? They just don't have the treads, they don't have the tannins. Think of tannins as your treads in your automobile. They're like summer tires, right? Just, they have some traction, but not a lot. So, Jane, hello Jane. You're joining us with your glass of Georges Duboeuf Beaujolais Nouveau, or Beaujolais Village. I'd like to know what you think of that, Jane. And I also saw, Jane, that you had posted a review of one of the wines earlier this week, a different wine. Remind me what that was, because it was a good review, Jane. Stephen, Pinot Noir also for you from Beaune. Beaune is the heart of Burgundy. It's where all the negotiants or agents are situated. It's an ancient medieval town surrounded by this wall, and there's so many caves, vin de cave, caves of wine underneath. It's a magnificent medieval place to visit. Lise, I feel like Nouveau is really a nice alternative to coolers. Yes, Lise, yes, definitely a step up. Not so high in alcohol, yes. Really, yeah, nice cool. Yeah, serve it cool. As it warms up the aromas, yes, exactly. Lise, you captured it beautifully. So, we don't have to drink, these are fruity, which can be a mark of disdain with connoisseurs, but not us, right? So fruity, berry, ripe. It's the essence of the grape purity in its youth. So nothing's happened because it's had no time to develop into anything. So it's just past tasting like crushed grapes, right? So we've got a low alcoholic kick. We've got the grapeness, the fruitiness. It's meant for a carafe, not a decanter. So acknowledge it for what it is. Don't put it into a category where you're comparing it unfairly to anything else. And enjoy it. Enjoy the story. That's what I like, is the story behind the wine. And then I just drink what I want. Right? Doesn't mean you have to stick with this thing, but it's nice to know about it. Dinner party conversation, right? So let me just refresh here, and honestly, I can't believe how fast these things go. So we're already at 30 minutes. All right. So let's read what's happening here. Jane says she finds her wine very grapey, ripe berries, sweet spice. Yes, Jane, that would be definitely it. And if you're just joining us, please just comment. Where are you logging in from? Where do you live? What's in your glass? Even if it's not Beaujolais Nouveau, even if it's not wine, I'd love to hear from you. Any questions? Beaujolais related or not, please post them down below. And don't forget to hit on the like, the share little symbol, the follow green button, and the sign up blue button. Okay. I don't even like repeating all that stuff. Anyway, but I'm supposed to according to the guidelines. All right, let's look back at the Italian versions of Beaujolais Nouveau. So of course they're not called Beaujolais Nouveau. That's kind of like a trademarked word for France and the southern region. But we have the Nouveau style, the new style of wines from Italy. I've got two here. So I've got Negrare, which is a pretty big label from Italy, and I've got Mezzacarona, another big heavy hitter, meaning production-wise, big production from Italy. These were pretty good. They're made from not the Gamay grape, but indigenous Italian varietals. But again, picked maybe 6 weeks ago, bottled, quickly fermented, tout sweet, and into your hands at the same time as you would get Beaujolais Nouveau. One more variation here is a Niagara wine or two. Rife. I always mispronounce it. So, Rife. It's like the Riedel glassware. Anyway, I'm just going to not figure that out right now. So, from Niagara, Rife, because I know it goes with the good life, even though it's spelled, where is it? R-E-I-F. Makes a Nouveau style wine, and it's making it from Gamay in Niagara. One is called The Fool. I absolutely love these labels. And the other, they have a white version called The Hangman. I have the background on why they're called this in the tasting note. But this is made from the grape called Kerner. Light and floral, beautiful. Lighter version if you like Torrontés from Argentina, or Viognier, that floral light. This one's got all that grapey goodness, a good hit of acidity. You need food with this. Plank salmon, roast chicken, turkey, of course. It's all there for you. So again, the other thing about all of these wines, they're all like 10 to 12 bucks. Some of them are a bit more expensive. I went over to the SAQ in Quebec, and the wines there, the Nouveau wines, were much more expensive, but maybe it's because they have more of a culture for this. I don't know. But let me just show you a few more that I got over there that were really good. This one, Gamay Nouveau from Stéphane Averon. Big Rooster. This was the favorite of the product consultant in the SAQ, who's very knowledgeable. It's called Damien Coquette. Damien Coquette. Is that like Devil Rooster? Anyway, it was pretty good. So, there we go. Let's just see now. Okay. Whoa. All right. James is here from Toronto. Yes, James is here. You're always going live when I'm cooking. Okay, James. What can I do differently? Tonight he's cooking. James is cooking Puerto Rican style carne molina, ground beef with potatoes and carrots. Oh, drinking an Argentina finca. Oh yeah, El Origen Malbec. Sounds delish, James. Just keep me open on your iPad or your smartphone. You know, folks, you can listen to me anytime. Oh, not that you want to, but even if you're on the go shopping, you can, of course, tune into these on your smartphone. You don't need to be at your desktop, at a laptop, or even with your iPad. Jane says she tried the Mezzacarona Nouvelle on Friday. Much like Georges Duboeuf, ripe grapes, sweet spice, light body. Yeah, I'd agree, Jane. Lee says she switched to the Fool, the wine I just showed you, the Fool from Niagara, and it's a bit more tart. Yes, there is more acidity, more cherry than the Village from Georges Duboeuf. Reminds me of unripe strawberry, lighter body too. It's very good, but I prefer the Village. I have to agree with you there, Lee's. So yeah, good. You're learning, gal. Let's see, what else? Have I missed any? I'm just going to check here. I'm so glad. I kind of tonight thought there's just so many wines. I'm not going to be able to like open and pour. You notice I'm just talking nonstop, but I did taste all of these wines. If you can see, the little bit has been taste it, but I think I've showed you. Oh no, here's one more. There's just so many. It's almost overwhelming. This is J.P. Chenet, another big French producer. Their art label, they always change. You'll notice that the labels change every year. Very joyous, very floral, very art deco, that kind of thing. Did I show you this one as well? This is an SAQ one from Chenet. Pretty. But again, you're not going to get much nuance. There's not really a big call for analysis, and I was looking at my tasting notes going, ugh, I'm saying the same thing over and over again, not just between wines, but from last year. But you know what? I think it's getting a little precious, in my view, to try to get extremely different tasting notes when they basically have the same profile. Light-bodied, maybe medium. Bright berry, sometimes bubblegum, a little bit of a banana finish sometimes. Sometimes they can be a little unripe or herbal, smooth, usually not a lot of tannic grip. Goes with grilled chicken, roast turkey, roast chicken. That's basically your Beaujolais Nouveau. Let me hit refresh. Let's see, Lori, she's sitting here, sipping her wine, writing wine reviews on Villa Maria. You're multitasking, Lori, good woman. Listening to this feed while dinner's in the oven. Yes, I love that. I love kind of being with you and not. Lise, drink something already, girl. Oh, thank you. Michelle and Marie. How do you pronounce your last name? Duboeuf. Oh, wait a minute. And Darren Duboeuf. Natalie, a little off topic, but you, oh, look, absolutely beautiful. Darren's a plant. I paid Darren. Darren, did you get your check? Thank you, Darren. That's very kind. That's very, very nice. What are you drinking? You must be drinking something high alcohol. Michelle, back to Michelle. Anne-Marie Doust? Please correct me. Your knowledge of wine is awesome. Gosh, there's just so many plants in the audience tonight. Thank you, guys. That's very nice. Your French could use a little fine-tuning. LOL. Or as the French say, LOL. I know, Michelle. I know. Gosh. Okay. French. Really. Okay, so let me actually do some tasting with you before this whole thing gets away from me. So, what I was feeling like my favorites, let me just narrow it down for you. So I was betwixt and between the two Georges Duboeuf Beaujolais Nouveau, Beaujolais Village Nouveau. So you would think the Village Nouveau would be the higher one, but I don't think there's a big difference. Okay. Spitoo. All right, here we go. You know, I would drink that at a wedding. No, I would drink it, really. God, there's so many terrible wines that are served in the world at big events and stuff. This is just delightful. Just delightful. Nothing wrong with that. Now let's try the other one. So, if you want some sort of tasting note, cherry berry, light-bodied, smooth, no big grippy tannins, blah, blah, blah. Beaujolais Nouveau. Or did I just do that one? Okay. This one's a bit more bubblegum, more grapey. But I don't mean that as a slam, okay? It's just trying to associate those flavors with something. It's completely subjective, so don't get intimidated by this. It's not like, oh my god, I'm not getting the bubblegum. Something's wrong with me. Okay, let me hit refresh. All right. Tastes very similar to me. Okay. Carol is here from LA. Los Angeles, baby. Are you drinking anything tonight, Carol? We're drinking Nouveau. What's in your glass? And then again, it's 3 hours earlier, isn't it? But you are a wine warrior, I know that. Lise Charret Gagné, Miss French. D-O-est, it's French. So she's trying to help me with the pronunciation of Michelle's last name. so not going to keep trying that right now, or this could be a 2-hour broadcast. Okay. So that's just lovely. Let me just see if the Momacent is usually regarded as right up there with Georges Duboeuf in quality. Let's just see how that did. I did taste these all earlier, so we'll see. That's okay. Actually, it's just fine. You know what, there's just not that much difference. Now, there were some that I tasted, and you'll see it in my tasting notes where I said they're herbal or they're kind of short or whatever. So I did differentiate. You will see subtly in my tasting notes the ones I wasn't that keen on. But I'll tell ya, this is what I loved. It's not Nouveau, but it is Georges Duboeuf, as I said earlier, the Bruy. Go ahead, correct me. Bruy. Or let me just, Bruly. Okay, c'est sauvage, n'est-ce pas? Okay, so, but you really should try some of these ageable Beaujolais wines and just see what you think. You know what would be interesting for you to do is compare the ageable Beaujolais with Beaujolais Nouveau and then put it beside a Pinot Noir that's not outrageously expensive from Burgundy and just look at the differences, because it's only by side-by-side comparison that that you really learn. Carol says, a rosé of Pinot. Excellent. Which label, Carol? Doesn't go well with fresh brush teeth. Nothing does. That's just a killer. You know, when I'm heading to a big tasting in the morning, you know, I have to brush my teeth when I get up, but I'll always have tea afterwards, maybe even 2 cups of tea before I go, because you just can't, toothpaste is just a killer on wine. It's the acidity, the mint, everything. So let me get back to, this is just so beautiful. Let me get back to some facts here. So Beaujolais, as I said, is in the southern Burgundy, just north of the medieval city of Lyon. Lyon is beautiful to visit. I've been there. And the old joke is it's where the rivers of the Rhone, the Saône, and the Beaujolais converge. That's a joke, because there is no Beaujolais river, just a river of wine. There's so much of it produced. But they used to float barrels down the Saône, the River Saône, to Lyon. And then they'd arrive on the quay, or the quay, and there'd be tents pitched on the docks. And that's where they would celebrate with dancing and fireworks and celebrate the new vintage. They were just so glad to be done the harvest. It's exhausting picking grapes. I should know. I think I tried it for an hour or 2. I was just exhausted. Let's see, what else is there that is kind of cool to know about Beaujolais Nouveau? Okay, so yeah, just don't keep it more than 6 months. What else? There are 3 major districts in Beaujolais. 2 of them make Nouveau style wines. The third one, so there's Beaujolais, Beaujolais Nouveau, which we've talked about, and then there are the specific villages, like Bruy, that make the Beaujolais Cru, so the higher level. I am sorry for all this French. The 10 villages are Bruy, Chenet, Cherouble, Côte de Bruy, Fleury, Julianas, Morgan, Moulin à Vin, Rigny, and Saint-Amour. Thank you for that last one. Okay, so Georges Duboeuf, 10% of Beaujolais production, known as the King of Beaujolais. He really made his mark and the world over with that. What else can I tell you? There's some cool facts down here. It takes 9 grape bunches to make 1 bottle of wine. 2,000 trucks travel out of Beaujolais Nouveau with the new vintage. 450 airplanes carry 5,500 tons of bottles to their final destination. Let me get back to here. Okay. Because I'm going to I'm coming to the end of my remarks, but you tell me if you have more questions. Right, Lori says, I've had that wine too. It's very nice. So, totally don't remember. I've lost the thread, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, Lori. Carol, 99 barrels. She's drinking 99 barrels from the Santa Lucia Highlands. That would be in California. Good. Jane, seems like something to celebrate. The end of the harvest means a lot of food and wine. Yeah. There's always big harvest celebrations when you're at a winery because, think about it, they work all year for one pivotal event, that harvest. You are at the mercy of Mother Nature. There could have been early spring rains, there could have been late frosts, all kinds of stuff. And now you're bringing it all in. It's not like you get, multiple chances at this. You get one chance every year to bring in the product that is going to make or break you for that year, for your sales and your production. So you can imagine that once they get all the grapes in from the vineyards to the winery and the press has started, there's a lot of celebrations. And I've been part of that. It's pretty cool. And they'll have these big, long farm tables out in the vineyards and lanterns and fireflies and the vines and everything else at night. And everybody is just so happy and exhausted. It's really like some grueling final exam thing that's beyond everything because it takes all your mental, emotional, and physical resources. But it's pretty amazing when that all comes to a point of celebration. So, how is the George Duboeuf? Carol asks, is it good enough or should I seek a more independent label? So, good question. So if you want to explore Beaujolais Nouveau, Carol, try the George Duboeuf. It is the best, I think, of its kind for Beaujolais Nouveau and Beaujolais. And also when we get into the village designates, like the Bruy, it's really good. Now, then you have to step out of that and go, what is it you want to drink? To me, I go back to Burgundy and Pinot Noir. And I might get slammed for this afterwards, but because you shouldn't compare apples and oranges. We're talking about Beaujolais here. And so when I'm scoring wines, just so you know, I might give, let's see, this Beaujolais Nouveau wine that's very young and very grapey, an 88. But that's because it's an 88 for what it is, a Nouveau wine. How well is it doing at what it's supposed to do? So it's like if I was a car critic and I was trying to grade or critique a Volvo. I'm not going to compare a Volvo to a Jaguar or a Porsche. I'm going to critique a Volvo or a Nouveau for what it is and grade it accordingly, if you get my drift. So you have to take the notes and the scores in context. It's not this one grand scale for me where all wines are in the same spectrum. It's how well does this wine do expressing what it should express for what it is. Anyway, so I hope that answers your question, Carol. Yes, try the George Duboeuf, try the Nouveau, try a village designate like Bruy, and then do a comparison. Try some Burgundy. Let's see what else, if there's anything else. Okay, Lori says Trail Estates, she's drinking the Prince Edward County. Yes, you know what, Lori? From Trail Estates, Alex, the winemaker from Trail Estates, emailed me this week and said, you're doing Nouveau. I will send you the Baco Nouveau. How is it, Lori? Because I didn't get it in time for this broadcast, so let me know. Jane, yeah, sort of like a final sommelier exam. Oui. Don't make me speak French, Jane. Don't bait me. But yes, oui. Bien sûr. D'accord. All right, so I'm off to the Bruy again. Try not to tip the glass to the camera. It's like putting your feet up. Anyway. Any other questions? We are at the 50-minute mark. And again, I never talk so much during the week as I do on these broadcasts. It's not just the wine. And I know until we get the technology where y'all can be on, what I would love is if we could have multiple cameras and multiple people. Of course, I'd have to control it all, but I would really love the chance for you to talk. Anyway, any other questions? I'm going to refresh. Again, as always, you can always post a question after the fact. You can watch the whole video replay if you joined us later. Let me just see. I had all of these wines here somewhere. Let me just see if I can find these, because I was going to post all of the wines that I tasted tonight on the blog, or sorry, the Facebook, the old Facebook. Here they are. Okay, so I am going to copy and paste these right now so that you have all the links to all the wines that we tasted tonight. Let's see if I can comment on my own post here. It's a long one, but let's just see. That's going to, temporary problem. I freaked Facebook out. Okay, that's not going to work. I'll post them later. Okay, I think I just posted way too much text. Okay, so let me just see if there's anything more, or I might have jammed up Facebook. I'm not sure here. Okay. Francois, sorry. Francois, no, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, Lise. Natalie, can you consider a discussion night in regards to a good wine list to host a Christmas party? That is a great topic for discussion, Lise. I am going to put that on the agenda. Okay? So, before Christmas, we'll have that discussion. Jane asks, wait a minute, that would be cool. What would be cool? Tara, thank you for joining us, Tara, but again, I've lost the track here. All right. Oh, Ben Rene is on his second gin martini. Ben, so glad you could land here accidentally, Ben. Okay, he's in Ottawa, and he's got 3 smiley faces in his comment, so Ben is very happy in Ottawa. Jane asks, what would be good food choices with Beaujolais? So, roast chicken, roast turkey. Ooh, there goes a bottle. My reflexes are still good, thank God. Roast turkey, roast chicken, planked salmon, fresh seafood. What else? Charcuterie. Oh my gosh, smoked meats, hard cheeses, olives, nuts. That should get you going, eh, Jane? Lise, yes. Okay, I will do that, Lise. And let me refresh one more time. And I will post all of these wines. I'm trying not to freak Facebook out with all my... Okay. Lindsay, I like Ben already. So, y'all can connect afterwards. Should have like a Match.com for wine drinkers. So, Ben, Lindsay is liking your comment. I think that's it, though. So that was fun. I need to eat something. I need to eat dinner. I will post all of these tonight, and I will see you next week. So put us, your Sunday Sipper Club, in your calendar. If you have Google Calendar, you can I think you can put it in for every Sunday going forward, 6 p.m. Eastern, or any other calendar. Next week, I want your opinion, guys. So next week, of course, we will be just past U.S. Thanksgiving, and we've already done a turkey special in the past for Canadian Thanksgiving, so I'm thinking, been there, done that. Friday is Black Friday, so all the big sales, so we could talk about how to pick a bargain wine for the holidays, or we could do something completely different. Okay, so let me know down below, post a comment. What is it you want to talk about next Sunday? I'm trying to sort of get ahead of the game and post topics in advance so people can buy the wines if they want to be on theme and taste along with us, but you know how it is. Life's busy and you just do your best and try to be consistent. So, thanks, Lindsay. Great use of FBI, yeah. It's fun to drink, if you're on video or not. And Lee says, I would drink the Village. Oh yeah, the Village with nice strawberry shortcake. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that a good pairing for a lot of these Beaujolais Nouveau, Skittles. Acid, snap, crackle, pop, cherry berry flavor. You're good to go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. So I'm just signing off, And I appreciate you spending your time, letting me a little bit into your lives on this Sunday evening. I hope to see you again next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you tuned in for midway, you can watch the replay. It'll be here and shortly, or whenever Facebook decides it wants to have it. But I think that's it. So lots of fun, and we will see you again next week. Okay? Cheers. Alrighty.